Welcome back. Tonight, we are not just discussing psychology. We are entering the realm of spiritual warfare. We are peeling back the layers of crime that leaves no fingerprints but destroys lives. The betrayal of an empath by a narcissist. You have felt the devastation of this betrayal in your marrow. You gave them your light, your compassion, and the deepest parts of your soul, believing you were healing a wounded bird. But when the mask slipped, you realized you weren't holding a bird. You were feeding a snake that was waiting for the right moment to strike. They walked away with your energy, leaving you hollowed out, while they seemingly moved on to a brighter, happier life. But I am here to tell you that what you see is a lie. They didn't just break a relationship. They incurred a spiritual debt so massive it is currently bankrupting their soul. The haunting question that keeps you awake at night is always the same. How can they sleep? How can someone take so much, destroy so thoroughly, and then act as if nothing happened? You watch them parade their new life on social media, smiling that empty smile, and it feels like a glitch in the moral universe. It feels like evil has won, but you're looking at the surface of a deep, stagnant pond. You cannot see the rod at the bottom. The narcissist sleeps because they have shut down their conscience, but the soul, even a fractured one, never forgets. They are not at peace. They are in a state of spiritual anesthesia, frantically numbing themselves before the pain of their own existence wakes them up. To understand the gravity of this betrayal, you must understand the nature of the empath. You are not just nice, you are a high-frequency energetic source. You possess the ability to transmute pain into love, to see the good in the broken, to offer unconditional acceptance. To a narcissist, who is essentially a walking void, you are the ultimate prize. You are grade A spiritual food. They hunted you not because you were weak, but because you were powerful. They needed your light to illuminate their darkness. But here's the tragedy. They cannot generate their own light. So, when they betray you, they are not just losing a partner. They are smashing the only lantern they had in a pitch-black cave. The soul contract you felt was real to you, but to them, it was a transaction. You signed up for a partnership. They signed up for a host. When they betray you, whether through cheating, discarding, or a brutal smear campaign, they are violating a cosmic law of exchange. They took the gold of your empathy and paid you back in the lead of their malice. They believe they got away with the heist of the century. They think they stole your essence and can now use it to fuel their fake reality. But spiritual energy has a homing beacon. It cannot be stolen. It must be given freely. The moment they betrayed you, the energy they stole turned into poison inside their veins. They are currently living in a state of spiritual indigestion. They consumed your kindness, your secrets, and your vulnerability. But because they lack the spiritual enzymes to process love, it is rotting inside them. This manifests as a deep, unshakable restlessness. Have you noticed how they can never sit still? How they constantly need new stimulation, new supply, new chaos? This is not a zest for life. This is a frantic attempt to outrun the decay spreading in their spirit. They are running from a realization that they destroyed the very thing that could have saved them. The betrayal of an empath is a specific type of spiritual violation because it involves soul murder. They didn't just want to leave you. They wanted to erase you. They wanted to take your reality, your sanity, and your self-worth and grind it into dust so they could feel superior. This level of malice leaves a mark on the perpetrator's soul. It is a stain that cannot be washed away with a new relationship or promotion at work. It creates a heavy, dense energy field around them that repels genuine goodness. They are becoming magnets for darkness, attracting situations and people that mirror their own internal wasteland. You might feel like the victim, but in the spiritual court, you're the creditor and they are the debtor. They owe a debt to the universe that they cannot pay. Every tear you cried, every sleepless night, every moment of confusion caused by their gaslighting, it is all recorded in the ether. The universe seeks balance. The narcissist believes they are the exception to the rule, the special one who can cheat gravity. But gravity always wins. The weight of their betrayal is pulling them down into lower and lower vibrational states, where joy, peace, and true connection are biologically impossible for them to experience. The secret hell of the narcissist is their inability to connect. By betraying the empath, the one person who truly saw them and loved them anyway, they have severed their last link to humanity. They are now drifting in a sea of superficiality. They are surrounded by people, yet they are profoundly, terrifiedly alone. They know that if anyone else saw what you saw, they would be rejected. So they must hide. They must perform. They must wear the mask 24/7. Imagine the exhaustion of living a life where you can never, ever be your true self because your true self is a traitor. They fear the mirror of truth. You were a mirror that reflected their potential for goodness, but also their deep flaws. When they couldn't handle the flaws, they smashed the mirror. But now, without you, they have no reflection at all. They are vampires looking into glass and seeing nothing. This loss of identity drives them to mirror others, mimicking their new supply, their boss, their friends, trying to stitch together a personality from scraps. They are Frankenstein's monster of stolen traits, walking around in a suit of skin that doesn't fit, terrified that the seams are starting to show. As we close this first chapter, understand that the narcissist is not winning. A parasite does not win when it kills the host. It signs its own death warrant. They have cut off their source of high vibrational nutrition. They are now starving spiritually. The shiny exterior is just a paint on a condemned building. The structure is collapsing. The debt collectors are coming. And the currency they require is the one thing the narcissist no longer possesses, a soul. We must now dissect the mechanics of their internal collapse. The narcissist operates on a false self system. This false self is a fortress built to protect a fragile, undeveloped, and shame-filled inner child. When they bond with an empath, they briefly feel safe. Your love soothes their ancient wounds. But intimacy terrifies them because it requires vulnerability. Vulnerability feels like death to the ego. So, the betrayal was a preemptive strike. They had to destroy you before you could destroy their illusion of perfection. They had to hurt you to prove to themselves that they are powerful, not dependent. The act of betraying an empath creates a massive narcissistic injury within the narcissists themselves. Deep down, in the subconscious basement they refuse to visit, they know they are unworthy. When you love them, it triggered their imposter syndrome. They felt they didn't deserve your light, so they sought to extinguish it. By betraying you, they validated their own core belief. I am a monster. They fulfilled their own self-loathing prophecy. They destroyed the best thing that ever happened to them to prove that they are incapable of having good things. They are now suffering from supply dysmorphia. They thought they could replace you. They thought energy was generic, that one person's attention was as good as another's. They are finding out the hard way that this is false. The supply they get from sycophants, enablers, and shallow flings is empty calories. It gives them a momentary ego boost, but it doesn't nourish them. They are spiritually malnourished, constantly hungry, constantly hunting, yet never satisfied. They are consuming more and more, but feeling less and less alive. The betrayal locks them into a cycle of repetition. Because they refuse to learn the lesson you offered, the lesson of unconditional love and accountability, they are doomed to repeat the same toxic cycle forever. They will find a new partner, idealize them, devalue them, and discard them. It is a loop of madness. They are running on a hamster wheel, sweating and panting, believing they're moving forward, but they are stuck in the exact same emotional spot where they left you. They are prisoners of their own pathology. They experience a loss of object permanence regarding the soul. To a narcissist, if you are not serving them, you do not exist. But the empath's energy is potent. Even after you're gone, your energetic footprint remains. This haunts them. They try to overwrite your memory with new people, new places, new lies. But the memory of your pure love acts like a glitch in their system. It is a standard they cannot meet and a warmth they cannot replicate. You are the ghost in their machine, reminding them of what they threw away. The shadow self begins to take over. The narcissist spends their life repressing their dark side, their envy, their malice, their greed. When they betrayed you, they let the shadow take the wheel. The more they act out of malice, the more the shadow grows. It is consuming the little bit of humanity they had left. You see this in their eyes, the shark eyes, dead and black. There is no one home anymore. The false self is crumbling, and the monster underneath is now visible to anyone who looks closely. They are driven by pathological envy. They didn't just betray you because they were bored. They betrayed you because they envied you. They envied your capacity to feel, to cry, to laugh, to connect. They envied your wholeness. By breaking you, they hope to steal your pieces. But wholeness cannot be stolen. Now, they watch you heal, even if they stalk you from afar, and they see you putting yourself back together stronger than before. This enrages them. Your resilience is a mirror to their fragility. The cognitive dissonance is deafening. They have to maintain the lie that you were the problem. They have to tell everyone you were crazy, abusive, or unstable. But the mental gymnastics required to keep this lie alive are exhausting. They have to constantly edit reality, gaslight themselves, and rewrite history. This fragments their mind. They are losing their grip on reality because they have built their life on a foundation of pure fiction. They don't know what is true anymore. so they live in a state of constant, low-grade paranoia. They are terrified of the quiet. Why do narcissists surround themselves with noise, TV, social media, and drama? Because in the quiet, the truth gets loud. The truth is that they are empty. The truth is that they hurt the only person who loved them. The truth is that they are aging, alone, and hollow. They betrayed you to create chaos because chaos is a distraction. But the quiet always returns. And in the silence of their own company, they are tormented by the utter lack of substance within them. Finally, in this breakdown, understand that their soul is calcifying. Every act of cruelty hardens the heart. When they betrayed an empath, they poured concrete over their own heart chakra. They are becoming stone. They're losing the ability to feel anything but the most primitive emotions, rage, envy, and fear. They are turning into statues, monuments to their own ego, cold, hard, and lifeless. They are technically alive, but spiritually they are fossils. The turning point in the spiritual debt collection is not a lightning strike. It is a slow bleed. It happens when the narcissist realizes that their magic tricks have stopped working. The charm that used to dazzle everyone is wearing thin. The manipulation tactics are becoming obvious. People are starting to see the cracks. The narcissist feels a shift in the atmosphere, a cold wind blowing through their life. This is a universe withdrawing its protection. They used up their grace period when they broke you. Now, they are operating without a safety net. The Midas touch becomes the rot touch. Remember how everything they touched seemed to turn to gold when they were with you? That was your energy. You were the lucky charm. You were the battery pack. Now, without you, everything they touch begins to wither. Projects fail. Friendships end in drama. Health issues crop up. They blame bad luck, but it is energetic consequence. They are vibrating at the frequency of betrayal. So they are attracting betrayal. They're being scammed, lied to, and used by others, mirroring exactly what they did to you. They begin to experience the void expanding. In the past, they could fill the void with your love. Now, it is a black hole in the center of their chest. They throw money, sex, alcohol, and attention into it, but it swallows everything and demands more. The panic sets in. They realize that nothing satisfies them. The new partner is boring. The new car is just metal. The promotion feels empty. They are shouting into a canyon and getting no echo. The existential dread is rising like floodwater. The new supply fails to launch. This is a critical moment. They groom the new person to be you, but the new person has boundaries or demands or simply is an empath. The narcissist tries to extract fuel, but the well is dry. They become enraged. They start the devaluation cycle much faster. The chaotic ending of a new relationship happens in record time. The narcissist is left bewildered, wondering why the script isn't working. They don't realize you were the one rewriting the script to make a love story. Without you, it's a horror movie. They are haunted by phantom pains. They reach for the phone to call you when something happens. Then remember they discarded you. They look for your validation in a room full of strangers and find only indifference. They feel the amputation of the limb they cut off. This isn't missing you out of love. It's missing the function you served. But the pain is real. It is the pain of a parasite realizing it has killed its host and now has nowhere to feed. The smear campaign backfires. This is a common karmic twist. They spread lies about you to destroy your reputation. But as time passes, people see you thriving, healing, and acting with dignity. Meanwhile, the narcissist is still talking about you, still angry, still bitter. The audience starts to wonder, if they're so happy, why are they so obsessed with their ex? The lies unravel. The flying monkeys start to question the narrative. The trap they set for you snaps shut on their own leg. They enter the paranoia phase. They project their own treachery onto everyone else. Because they betrayed you, they assume everyone is plotting to betray them. They check phones, track locations, and accuse their new partners of cheating. They create a self-fulfilling prophecy. Their controlling behavior drives people away, confirming their belief that everyone leaves. They are trapped in a hell of their own creation, seeing enemies in every shadow. The mass fatigue becomes terminal. It takes an immense amount of energy to pretend to be a good person when you are rotting inside. Without your energy to feed on, they are running on fumes. They snap in public. They reveal their cruelty to the wrong people. The mask slips, and the world sees a snarl underneath. They are losing control of their image, which is the only thing they care about. The fortress is crumbling, and they are standing naked in the rubble. The spiritual debt manifests physically. The body keeps the score. You might see them aging rapidly. their face hardening into the narcissistic scowl. They develop psychosomatic illnesses, chronic pain, or addiction issues. Their outer appearance begins to match their inner reality. The beauty or charm they relied on is fading, leaving behind the bitter, angry shell. They look in the mirror and see the ugliness they tried to hide from the world. The turning point concludes with the great isolation. Even if they are married, even if they are at a party, they are completely severed from the web of life. They cannot feel joy, empathy, or peace. They are watching life through a glass wall. They see others laughing and loving, and they feel a cold, alien hatred. They realize, perhaps for the first time, that they are different, that something is missing, that they are broken in a way that cannot be fixed. We now enter the phase of total collapse. The soul debt is called in. This isn't fire and brimstone. It is a cold, gray reality of a life lived without love. The narcissist becomes a wraith. They are hollowed out. They move through the world consuming, taking and destroying, but getting no nourishment. They are the hungry ghosts of Buddhist mythology. Huge stomachs, tiny throats, unable to ever be full. Their existence becomes a monotonous loop of seeking a high they can no longer reach. They become the architect of their own misery. They destroy every good thing that comes into their life because they do not believe they deserve it, and because they must destroy it before it abandons them. They sabotage their own success. They provoke arguments when things are peaceful. They cheat when they are trusted. They are chemically addicted to chaos because chaos distracts them from the void. But the chaos eventually destroys their life structure. The social exile begins. People are not stupid. Over time, the pattern becomes undeniable. The exes all have the same horror stories. The friends all feel used. The narcissist gets a reputation. They are blacklisted from genuine emotional circles. They are forced to scrape the bottom of the barrel for supply, hanging out with people they despise just to have an audience. They are the king of a kingdom of dirt. The fear of mortality consumes them. A soul that is connected to love knows that love is eternal. A soul that is disconnected fears that death is the end of the show. Narcissists are terrified of aging and death because it means the end of the ego, the end of the control, and the end of the audience. As they get older, this terror turns them into bitter, hypochondriacal tyrants. They are raging against the dying of the light because they know there is no light waiting for them on the other side. They are trapped in retroactive regret. Not regret for hurting you. They lack the empathy for that. But regret for losing the benefit of you. They replay the relationship, obsessing over how they lost control. They stalk your social media, hating your happiness. They are stuck in the past because their future looks bleak. They are living in a mausoleum of dead relationships, dusting off the memories of when they felt powerful. The inner critic becomes a dictator. The voice in their head that tells them they are worthless, the voice they tried to silence by abusing you, is now screaming. Without an external punching bag, they become their own victim. They self-destruct. They drink too much, spend too much, risk too much. They are trying to kill the voice, but they are only killing themselves slowly. They experience emotional zombification. They stop trying to pretend. The fake smile stops. The charm evaporates. They become openly hostile, rude, and entitled. They walk through the world expecting to be served, and when they aren't, they throw tantrums. They have devolved into oversized, angry toddlers. It is a pathetic sight. The grandiosity has collapsed into grumpiness. The karmic boomerang hits their lineage. Often, the narcissist sees their own children turning away from them or repeating their trauma. They end up alone on holidays. They end up with no one to care for them in their old age. The love they refuse to invest is the love they now lack in their bank account. They are emotionally bankrupt, and no one is willing to give them a loan. They are locked out of heaven, not in the religious sense, but in the experiential sense. Heaven is connection. Heaven is vulnerability. Heaven is being known and loved. They have locked themselves in a fortress to keep pain out, but they have also kept heaven out. They are safe inside their walls, but they are suffocating. They are the prisoners of their own defense mechanisms. The ultimate consequence is soul fragmentation. They have lied so much, worn so many masks, and betrayed so many people that they no longer have a core self. They are a shattered mirror on the floor. There is no I left. There is only a collection of reactions, defenses, and lies. They have successfully erased themselves. They committed suicide of the soul to save the ego, and now the ego is all they've left, a flimsy paper shield against a hurricane. But here is the final truth you need to integrate into your bones. You did not lose them. They lost themselves. The betrayal was not a judgment on your worth. It was a confession of their emptiness. You are the vessel of light they try to break. But light cannot be broken. It can only be redistributed. When they shattered the container, your light didn't disappear. It spilled out and returned to you, stronger and wiser. You must understand that you are the karma. Your healing is the karma. Your refusal to stay broken is the karma. Every time you choose joy, every time you set a boundary, every time you speak your truth, you are twisting the knife in their ego, not because you're trying to hurt them, but because your existence as a whole, healed person proves their powerlessness. You are the living evidence that they fail to destroy you. The debt is not yours to carry. For a long time, you carried their shame, their guilt, and their darkness. You thought if you loved them enough, you could pay off their spiritual debt. But you cannot pay the bill for a meal you didn't eat. Put the debt down. Hand it back to the universe. Say, this belongs to them. Walk away lighter. Do not wish for revenge. Revenge keeps you tethered to their vibration. The greatest revenge is indifference. It is becoming a ghost to them. It is living a life so vibrant and full that they become a distant, fuzzy memory. Let them rot in their own timeline while you ascend to yours. They are stuck in a loop. You are on a spiral upward. Their soul is on a journey of necessary destruction. They must hit rock bottom. They must sit in the rubble of their lives. Do not try to save them. Do not try to warn them. Do not try to cushion the fall. The fall is the only chance they have, however slim, of waking up. Your interference only prolongs their delusion. Step back and let gravity do its work. You have graduated. The relationship was a masterclass in self-love, taught by a harsh instructor. You learn what you will never tolerate again. You learn the value of your own energy. You learn that you are a powerhouse. Take the lesson and leave the teacher. You don't need to stay in the classroom once you pass the exam. The narcissist is a cautionary tale. Look at them and see what happens when a human being refuses to honor the divine within themselves and others. Let their misery be a lighthouse warning you away from the rocks. You are safe now. You are steering your own ship. Reclaim your pieces. Close your eyes and visualize calling back every ounce of energy you gave them. Pull it back from their house, their body, their timeline. Watch it return to you as golden light. You are whole. You are intact. Nothing was lost that cannot be replenished by source. The spiritual debt is settled when you decide you are free. The contract is burned. The cord is cut. You are no longer their supply. You are your own source. Shine so bright that the shadows have no choice but to flee. Thank you for watching. If this message resonated with your spirit, hit the like button and subscribe. Share this with an empath who needs to know they aren't crazy. They were just targeted for their light. The narcissist may have stolen a season of your life, but do not let them steal your destiny. You are the phoenix. Rise. I'll see you in the next one.